Tesla is a tech company more than it is an automotive or a car manufacturer. In fact, all of its Tesla fleets on the road are a true testament to what that is. The Tesla Model 3 behind us here today is packed full of gadgets and technology, and they're built for safety, entertainment, and it's just an all-round excellent car. Before we get into the car though, to check out the tech, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification as well so you'll be one of the first people to know every time we have a new video up on the channel. Okay, to get inside the Tesla Model 3 is a little bit different to your regular car, the way you get in normal cars. You use a key card, which looks a bit similar to the ones that you use to get into your hotel rooms when you travel, when we can travel. So what you need to do is tap the side, like so, and the car beeps to let you know that you're ready to get inside the car. What you then need to do is just push that in on the side, on the door handle, and we're good to go. Let's get inside the car. Nice and warm inside the car. Right, so what we can also do with the car is use a smartphone to actually operate certain things as well. So providing you have the latest iOS device or the latest Android device as well, you can download the Tesla app and link it up with the car, so you can do things like open the car door and much more as well. You can either set the heating on before you get in the car or cool it down as well in the summer before you get in the car as well, which is pretty cool. Let's have a look at everything you can actually do with the app. So this is the app, and what you can see straight away is it tells me the car where that it's parked up as well. It tells me how much mileage I have left in terms of range on the battery. And then what you've got is various controls here. So you've got your heating. So if I want to turn that on remotely, I can do so. You can open the car boot, for example. I can lock and unlock the car with that as well. So this serves as a key, a phone key for my Model 3. What you then have this is the media. So with this, I can change track, increase volume and so on. Go back out. We have climate. So you go into climate. It's -1 degrees out here today. What you can do is before you get in the car, you can warm up the car so you're nice and warm when you get in the car, or you can defrost the windscreen as well by tapping those, and you can hear it go off there. You can tap it to turn it off as well. If you come back out, we then have charging. So this is very important for when you're charging your car. So you can see again the range that's left. You can use it to open the charge port, and it shows me the nearest supercharging stations as well, which is pretty cool. Helps me plan my trip for the day, so there's no panic in there at all. You then have your controls, which is pretty cool. You can use it to close your windows. Again, lock and unlock your car. If you tap the flash, the headlights will flash. So if you don't know where the car is in a car park, for example, you can use that to actually spot your car. You can, remotely start your car, open the front boot and the trunk as well, or the actual car boot. You can use it to do that. You got valet mode, sentry mode, and speed limit mode as well, so you can increase and decrease that. So if you're sharing the car with perhaps your kids, your younger child, for example, you can use that to limit the top speed that can go at when they're borrowing your car. Sentry mode is pretty cool. It just means that your car is always monitoring everything that's going on around the car. So if there's any case of someone's trying to steal the car, you get alerted, so you know what's going on. It also starts recording what's going on around the car based on the alert level, and it records 10 minutes of footage, I believe. It puts that on a USB drive that you need to insert into the car prior. If I go into location as well, it basically just tells me where my car is at all times. Service information just tells you when you need to service your car, the last service time as well. So this will be useful if you ever need to get in touch with Tesla about anything to do with your vehicle. So that's it for the phone, your smartphone as a key for the Tesla Model 3. Straight away, one thing to look at is you can place your phone here to charge it as well. And you can actually charge 2 devices at the same time. So it just so happens I've got another smartphone here that can charge at the same time. We'll also talk through the rest of the car. So first impressions, this is very minimal. There's hardly any buttons here to press at all, unlike many other cars out there. In fact, the few buttons that you have is the ones to open the car door, the ones to control the windows, and then you've also got 2 multi-directional buttons on the steering wheel itself and the 2 stalks on either sides to control things like the drive. So there's no gear shifting stick anywhere here. It's all here to do that kind of stuff. So apart from that, you have this center stage here, which is a 15-inch monitor. It looks like an iPad that's been slapped on to the dash, but it looks pretty cool. If you have an iOS device like the latest iPhone 12 Pro or the latest iPad, you'll be straight away familiar with this. You'll feel at home. And this is based on the AMD's latest Navi platform, meaning this is very powerful. You can even game on it. It controls the Autopilot system, and it does so much more as well. It's just very responsive and very nice to use. Let's dive in deeper to the user interface and see what you can actually do with this. So first thing first, you notice the layout of the user interface. On the right side, you have the status. This is always going to stay the same because this is very important. So at the moment, it tells me what's open and what's closed, for example, and I can even tap it to actually open them. So for example, the front here, the front boot, I can tap that to open it, and this is already open. So one of my car doors open at the minute, so I can tap that to lock it once I close the car door as well. And it tells me where the charging area is as well. So the charging port is right at the back there. What you also have is these 3 dots. And what that means is I can swipe across to see different information. So if I swipe across like so, it tells me how long my last charge was. So you can see that information there, which is pretty cool. And then if we swipe across to the other side, it tells me the gauge in terms of my tires. So I can see if they need, topping up, if they're a bit flat. I can see that straight away there, which is very useful. Again, all the useful information are here. If I'm in the middle of a phone call as well, if I receive a phone call, there'll be an extra screen that comes up as well to show me the call in progress. Once I start driving, which I'll show you guys in a little while, we'll see some more information on here in regards to when we're driving, what's on the road, like cones and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty smart if you ask me. That uses all that 8 cameras that's around the car to monitor what's going around, and some of that radar that's on the car to see what's going on around the car. So the car is extra safe, extra eye on the road if you're driving out and about. On the left side, we have extra things. So we have the map here, which is a Google sat nav here, so very easy to use. You got navigate, you just type in the address and you're good to go. Or you can set your work and home destination just to tap it, and you can use that to get to where you need to go to. On the bottom here, we have the music control, so the media control. You can swipe up to actually see the devices. So my phone is connected to this at the moment, you can see it there. And then you got the play button and going forward and backwards. On the bottom, you can change to like radio, Spotify, karaoke, tune in, you can do the settings, or you can just search for any music across all the platforms. On the audio settings, if you're all about this music settings, if you want to change your bass, the mid and treble, you can do that as well, entirely up to you. Some people leave it at default, but I like to play around with this and get a bit more bass, more oomph. By the way, the sound system in this car is amazing. It's mind-blowing. I actually don't know exactly what the manufacturer who manufactures the speaker system, but it just sounds really good. If we go across the bottom here, we can see some of the controls as well for the actual car. So if we press the car button here, very, very straightforward in terms of what it actually does. It gives you quick controls at first, so you can control your exterior lights, front fog and all that kind of stuff, your mirror, your steering wheel. For example, if we tap the steering wheel here, it tells you what you need to do. So you can go up and down, you can go inside and out. So if we do here, I can go up like so. I can move it down by just scrolling, a bit like your mouse on your computer. And I can use this to go in and out. You can see that getting closer to me, so I can get really comfortable when I'm driving. I can push it right back in. Just have to be patient with it. Here we go. So that's nice and comfortable for me now. I'm ready to drive in my ideal driving position. So coming out of that, you can lock the windows. For example, you can adjust the display brightness. I've just left it at automatic, so that adjusts depending on the lighting situation inside of the car. We can then go out of the quick settings options and go into lighting. So you can adjust the lighting, ambient lighting in the car. You can do auto high beam as well, so you don't blind people on the motorway coming on the opposite direction. We can go into locking, so you can lock the car. You can set how you do it. So at the moment, I've got my smartphone as a key to lock the car. You can adjust things like walking away, what happens when you walk away from the car. You can unlock on park as well. Just different things you can do with how the car behaves when you lock and unlock the car. You also got child lock as well, windows lock, so you don't want people messing with the windows at the back. If you have kids or pets at the back, you don't want to mess with anything like that. We then go into display settings, and we can again adjust settings for the display. So things like screen cleaning mode. When you're cleaning it, you don't want to be tapping all sorts of buttons and change your settings unknowingly. So you've got that there as well. You've got voice recognition, which works really well. So you can do so by pressing the button here. Navigate home. And once you do that, it starts to try and navigate me to my house. And I can also do that to stop it if I need to do so. If we go back into car settings now, we can then look into driving. So in driving, you can adjust the way the car behaves when you're driving. So acceleration, you can change from standard to chill. I've left it as standard. It just adjusts the way, what happens when you push the pedal. Does it go really quickly, or does it gradually just move off? depending on your driving style, you can do that. Steering mode, I've changed to sport because in sport mode, the steering gets a bit stiffer and I like that response when I'm driving. You can change it to comfort, so it's a lot softer. You got standard as well. And then you got stopping mode, so you can do hold, creep or roll. You got slip start as well. This will help you when it comes to things like snow. It's not sticking at the moment with the snow around here, but if it gets really bad, I can put that on to help me move off the line without slipping it all over the place. We then have Autopilot. With Autopilot, this particular model that I have here has the basic Autopilot system. You can add enhanced version or the full autonomy if you wish to do so as well by paying extra. But with this one, you can do things like auto steer, full self-driving visualization preview, which we'll show you guys when we drive and take it on the road and actually show you an example of that. You can set speed as well, speed warning, speed limits. You got forward collision warning, which I would say put that on at all times. It helps. You got lane departure avoidance as well. It'll assist you. You got other things for safety like emergency lane departure avoidance, blind spot collision warning chime, so it beeps to let you know when there's something coming in your blind spot. Into navigation, we got things like automatic navigation, trip planner. You can adjust the volume, online routing as well. You can avoid ferries, just the typical settings that you have for satellite navigation. Moving on to safety and security. Here you can adjust things like mobile access, allowing keyless driving. And then one thing that people don't know as well is you can actually power off the Model 3 as well. So you can come into this part of the menu system and you can power off the system as well if you wish to do so. If we go into service, this again gives you all the service information. This is mainly useful for when you need to talk to Tesla about your car, so you can look at all those things. One thing I also like about this is you can wake up to this just like you would your PlayStation 5, and there's a new update available in your car to update your car, or you can update itself overnight as well. And here you can have a look at the software information, the release notes, or up top, which I'll show you guys as well, what you can do is you can tap this button here and it gives you all the alerts and all the things that's happened in, over time. It just gives you that information there, which is pretty cool, very intuitive. If we close that completely, we're back to the main menu here. Now, there's another menu that I haven't showed you yet, which is the ones here at the bottom. And what you can do is there's a little toggle here. But before I talk about that, you can see the system control in terms of comfortability in the car. We've already gone through the car settings already. So then we have media for your music. So you can tap that to show you media options. We've also got this camera options here. So with this one, we have 8 cameras around the car. So we have 2 on either side. We've got 1 at the back and there's 3 on the front as well, which helps with the autopilot system, Sentry mode, and just a dash cam as well. So here we can see what's going around the car. We can have a look at the cameras, which is pretty neat. You can always see who's around your car. We've also got your wiper system here, so you can set it to auto. You can adjust the settings here as you wish to do so. We've got heated seat settings and your temperature control, climate control inside of the car, so you can set it manually or you can have it to automatically control that. You can also sync it as well. You've got your fan control there, so you can set it off, on, dog mode, camp mode, air conditioning. You then got schedules as well, so you can set all that settings to suit your preference basically. Next up, we have this little toggle here. It's hidden away, but it's very exciting once you go into it. I'll tell you why. So if you press that up, it tells you what all these things are, as well as extra options. So you got your calendar, so you can link your phone calendar to this, or Google Calendar, for example. You got energy control as well. So if you press energy, it tells you your consumption. You can check your trip as well. So helps you manage the energy level, and if you need to top it up, you can see that over time as well, how it's managing. Going again, we can look at charging. So during charging, when you're charging your car, you can use this to open charge port. You can see what's happening. You can schedule it. You can see the charge currents as well. You can see the supercharging fee as well on that area. Going back out, going to what else you can do. You got web as well, so you can actually browse the web, providing you got this connected to LTE or you got this connected to Wi-Fi on your smartphone. You can use it to browse the web. So if I'm parked up and I need to check something very quickly, I can do so. If we go into entertainment, this is where it gets fun. You can see some games available which you can play here. You'd have to connect to Wi-Fi to play some of these games, but you have plenty of options available. So imagine you're charging your car at a charging station. You can keep yourself entertained while you're charging this. You can go into theatre and you can watch things like Netflix, YouTube, Twitch, or some Tesla tutorials if you need to learn more about your car. Furthermore, if we go into Toy Box, this is where things get a little bit funny and more entertainment here for you. We've got romance mode, we've got emissions, I demoed that as well. So this one It's so random. I don't know why Tesla's put this in the car, but it's a funny thing to have. You can play gassy prank on anyone in the car. So if you have an unsuspecting passenger in the car, you can do things like turning fart sound on. So if I can do one of these. Wow. And you can attach a button on the steering to that as well, so you can actually tap that on demand if you need to do so. So you don't have to go into settings to do that. You got tracks. Romance mode is quite funny as well. It means you can get cozy. It turns on this interesting fireplace on. Let's get cozy. Let's see what that looks like. You see? Nice fireplace. I don't even have this at home, so I can have this in the car. Now we're driving, and at the moment I'm in control of the car, so I'm driving the car. But what I could also do is engage in autopilot mode. So to do that, I just have to depress the right stalk twice, and the car goes into that autopilot mode. It's a bit like some sort of advanced cruise control system. And what I also love about this is you got a big screen here that tells me everything that's going on. So I can see what the car can see as well, using those 8 cameras and the radar and so on. So at the moment I can see the lane, as you can see on there. And also it tells me to put my hands on the steering when it feels like I'm not holding it anymore. So you just press it and it knows that I've done so. So it goes off. So I can take my hands off very quickly just to show you guys this in action. So what you can see is things like the speed limit sign on the side road there. You can even see traffic lights, cones, and all that kind of stuff that's on the side road. And it collects all this data and it gets analyzed and used to improve the technology as well. And that's really clever, because using machine learning, they can use it to crunch all this data and continue to improve the system. There we go. That's the beep telling me to put my hands back on the steering. So you can see the car going past us right there, overtaking to that lane. That's pretty cool. The technology will also adjust the speed according to the speed of the car in front of me as well. I can adjust this as well, so using the right control system, I can tell how close I want the car to operate. So I can go up to 7 car distance between me and the car in front of me. So I can go closer. So if I go 3 car length, for example, so that's the space, that's the gap that the car will intelligently keep the distance between myself and the car in front of me. What it will also do as well is if I get closer to this car, and then let's engage in the autopilot mode again. There we go. As the car in front of me slows down, the car would also slow down as well. And once they pick up speed, it would also pick up speed according to their speed. That's very intelligent and smart, and I can't wait for this to go fully autonomous. At the moment, I have to legally keep a hand on the steering wheel, but Britain is aiming to become the first country to let drivers take their hands off the wheel on motorways. So this lane keeping technology could allow me to watch a film, send texts, or check emails at the wheel of a car like this from the summer. But that will not be at high speed. It would only apply in stop-start motorway traffic at speeds of up to 37 miles per hour. The technology, the third of 5 stages leading to cars that have no driver, is also confined to roads where traffic moving in opposite directions is physically separated and no pedestrians or cyclists are allowed. Okay, so that's it for the Tesla Model 3. I really enjoy my time with it. It feels really nice to drive. It feels safe. I love the entertainment in the car as well. I'd love to see a bit of a fingerprint sensor on the entry next time instead of using my phone. Maybe that's something Tesla can do. But in the meantime, if you're a big fan of Teslas, make sure you check out Ginny's full review of the Tesla Model 3. And if you want to check out the roundup from Nicki as well for the Model X, please do so on electrifying.com. If you have any questions, do drop them below. We'll do our best to answer them for you. And in the meantime, please do hit the subscribe button and share it as well. And smash that notification bell so you'll be one of the first people to know every time there's a video up on the channel.